Almost everything can be taken away from you. Someone can steal your phone, steal your car, your house can burn down. You could lose all your money in a blink of an eye. You will lose everyone around you. They will all die. You can be put in a prison cell and have your freedom taken away from you. But there are a couple of things that no one can take away from you. And these are your character, your traits, your mindset, your beliefs, your knowledge, and your ability to choose how you respond to any situation. You can spend all your time chasing after money, after material possessions, after status, after girls, but these can be taken away from you in a blink of an eye. So don't you think that it's better to spend more time on developing the things that cannot be taken away from you? Your character, your beliefs, your mindset, your knowledge, your philosophy, your outlook on life, how you respond to a situation, your self-control, your discipline. Now first, let's talk about character. The way I see it, character is basically just the way that you respond to a given situation. Now let me explain. For example, let's say that you're in a conflict or a disagreement with your friend. Someone with a strong character would communicate openly and effectively. He would be honest and actually listen to the other person. He would remain calm and try to get to a common ground, try to get to a solution. And someone with a weak character will respond to a conflict by just trying to avoid it, first of all, do not face the reality, and then starting to blame others, starting to become angry, and maybe not even take responsibility for their own mistakes. He wouldn't just listen, he would just shout at the other person. He wouldn't be able to see the situation from the other person's perspective. You see, the situation is the same, but the only difference is how you respond to that situation. And that entirely depends on you, your character, how you respond to that situation. Now, your character can also show itself based on how you respond to adversity, for example, some kind of hard or bad situation, losing a job, for example. Someone with a strong character could try and seek new opportunities. He would keep a positive mindset and attitude. He would try to learn from his mistakes, what happened, his lesson, and he would stay resilient. And someone with a weak character could respond to that by starting to blame others, becoming bitter, and just losing all hope, giving up way too easily. But let me give you another example. Let's say responding to making a mistake, facing the consequences of your own actions. Now, someone with a strong character would take responsibility for what they have done. They take responsibility for the situation and they would try to make it right. And they would learn from their mistake. Now, someone with a weak character would start blaming other people. He wouldn't take responsibility for his actions. He would find all sorts of excuses to get out of that situation. And there are also a lot of examples. You can bring up an example of every single situation because it's how you respond is entirely dependent on you. So how would you respond to these situations? Could you be able to keep calm while you're in a conflict, while the other person is shouting at you and is annoying you? Could you keep calm in that situation? Or could you forgive someone who has made a mistake? Could you stay positive and be grateful for the things that you have, even in a hard situation? Now, of course, it is impossible to always act according to what you think is right. That's just impossible. We're humans. We fail. I fail. You will fail. It's about striving to become better. But the key thing here is how will you respond to failing? How will you respond to you messing up? Will you respond by becoming bitter and blaming yourself and getting angry at yourself and giving up? Or will you respond by getting back up, getting back to those values? Staying positive, realizing that it's already in the past and there's no use in beating yourself up over it. Now, the way that you build a strong character is first by learning about it, by reading books about it, watching videos about it, looking at people who have a strong character. And the second thing is that practicing it. Practicing and failing. Yes, failing, it's essential. And being aware of your mistakes. Like actually becoming aware of them, your thoughts, what you're thinking, what you did, so that you can then correct them. Because if you don't realize that you did something bad, how could you be able to correct that? So throughout your day, be more aware of what you think, of what you do, how you respond to certain situations. And ask yourself, how could you improve on that? So these are the three things: practice, learning about it, and failing. And becoming aware of your failures so that you can improve on them later. Now, another thing that ties in with character is how much is your happiness and stillness dependent on external validations. Basically, your inner state, how you feel inside you, how content and still you are. How much is that dependent on what's going on around you? Could you remain still and content and grateful for the little things that you have, even when things are not going the way that you planned them, when things are in mess around you? Is your self-worth dependent on other people's opinions about you? Do you really care a lot about what other people think about you? Do you go out of your way to impress people? Most of the time that's from a place of insecurity, that you feel like there's a need to impress people because you don't feel enough. You feel like there's something lacking. Can you love people when they are not loving you back? Because that's the challenge, really, because it's easy to love others when they are also loving you. But can you love your partner, for example, when she closes down, when she had a bad day, when she doesn't want to talk to you? Can you still love her like that? Is your happiness and stillness dependent on how much money you make, what kind of status do you have, what kind of car do you drive, on what other people think of you? Can you just sit there and be grateful for the things that you have, even the smallest things, for the fact that you can take a deep breath, and how good that feels, for the fact that you can watch the sunrise, that you're alive, that you're healthy, that you can walk? Can you be content with who you are and where you are, and just accept that and realize that you don't need anything, that you're not lacking, you're not incomplete, and you don't need something external to become complete, that you are who you are, and that you just accept that, and you realize that you can achieve stillness wherever you are. It's not dependent on external factors. Now, of course, this is not easy. I'm not saying that I do all of those things, but who said it's going to be easy? And the thing is that most of the time, what is not easy is actually what we value and brings us fulfillment. Really, like for example, marriages and long-term relationships are fulfilling because they are difficult. Now, another thing that we haven't talked about yet is knowledge. No one can take away what you know. And I think it's very important that we keep learning and we don't stop learning and learning about the things that are interesting to us, really, and going deep into those. Because there is not a point where you get and you just say that, yep, that was enough learning for me. Because there is always something more to learn. There is so much that we don't know. Don't think that you already know everything. If you want to learn, then be humble. But I also think that it's important to have the ability to let go of the things that we've learned. Because there's a lot of things that we think that we know and are true that are actually just completely false or only half true. So it's also important to be able to let go of the things that we learned and not to hold on so tightly to our opinions and our beliefs that we cannot just let them go. Because we don't know a lot of stuff. We think that we know, but we don't know a lot of stuff. Like, the things that I said might just be a bunch of bullshit. Like, I might not agree with myself tomorrow, because the things that I believe and that I know change all the time. And now another thing that we haven't talked about is our beliefs. So basically, beliefs, most of them are not true. Like, there is not a true belief that is 100% true. That doesn't exist. And also, our beliefs basically shape our reality. What we believe is what we'll see. It's just the same thing as how you respond to a situation. The situation itself, it doesn't care about what we believe. We put on our judgments to the situation, our beliefs onto them, and react accordingly to our beliefs. So it shapes our reality, what we think, what we believe. It will reflect, it's like a mirror. It reflects what we believe, most of the time, I think. Maybe not, probably not. This belief is probably not true, but I think that our beliefs shape our reality. And another thing is that if these two are true, that most of them are just not true and they shape our reality, then just pick the ones that serve you the most. Like, really, if a belief is just not serving you, drop it. That's it. Like, if you believe, for example, that I just can't get better at drawing, I was born this way, it's genetics, blah blah blah. Like, that's, first of all, it's not true. And you can just drop it and believe that you can get better at drawing by practicing and failing a bunch of times. So switch up your beliefs to whatever is serving you right now. So thank you for watching this video. So as a quick recap, what we talked about: character, the things that people can't take away from you. Character, how you respond to situations. Your beliefs, your mindset. And your knowledge. What you know. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful. If you're interested, I'm doing free one-on-one calls. If you have any questions you want to ask me, just send me an email and we'll set up a call. So you can do that if you want to. But thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. All the love towards you. Have a great day and goodbye.